Ladies and gentlemen, gather round as I tell you a tale that haunts the halls of justice to this day, the story of Judge Malcolm Thorne and his infamous gavel of death. In the small town of Ravenwood, Judge Thorne was the embodiment of justice itself. His silver hair and piercing blue eyes commanded respect in every courtroom he presided over. They said his verdicts were always fair, his judgment unwavering. But there was something about him that made even the most hardened criminals shiver when they stood before his bench. What nobody knew was that Judge Thorne harbored a dark secret. That mahogany gavel he wielded, passed down through generations of his family, held powers beyond mortal understanding. For you see, every time he struck it to deliver a guilty verdict, it didn't just echo through the courtroom, it marked the beginning of a countdown. Strange things began happening to those he condemned. A drug dealer found guilty would die of an overdose within a month. A convicted murderer would meet their end in prison under mysterious circumstances. At first, these deaths seemed like karma, justice served in its purest form. But as the body count grew, whispers began to spread. The truth was far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. That gavel had been cursed centuries ago by a vengeful witch who had been wrongfully condemned. She ensured that true justice would always be served, but at a terrible price. Each strike of the gavel didn't just seal a defendant's fate in the eyes of the law, it sealed their doom. Judge Thorne discovered this truth too late. By then, the gavel's power had become part of him, corrupting his soul with each verdict. He couldn't stop using it, the compulsion was too strong. And so he continued to serve justice, knowing that each bang of his gavel was not just a judgment, but a death sentence. To this day, they say you can still hear the echo of that gavel in the old courthouse. And if you listen closely enough, you might hear the whispers of those whose fates were sealed by the gavel of death.